Great. Okay, a warm welcome to you all. We began 2025 with a goal to host a series of educational and informational webinars just to spread awareness and empower our community. So today's session, Cracking the College Code, is part of that ongoing series, and it is all about equipping you with the insights and strategies to support your children's college education journey. And again, I'm excited to work with all you passionate parents here. So to make this more interactive and engaging, I encourage all of you to be on video as much as you would love to see us. We would love to see you too, especially during Q&A, because that is the most important piece of our presentation today. Now, for those of you who don't know me or here for the first time attending our webinar, I am Radhika Raguraman. I'm a financial professional and I help families and help individuals understanding their financial goals, and I help create tailored solutions to address their specific financial needs. So some of the key areas where I help are legacy planning, for retirement planning, diversifying their portfolio, the different strategies, college education funding for kids, estate planning, wealth accumulation, and so much more. I'm passionate about helping families build or plan for their children's future. So not just financially, but also with the right guidance, tools, and strategies. College planning can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. So which is why today's session is all about giving you the insights that can make a real difference. So we have a truly special guest with us today, someone who brings wealth of experience and a heart for helping students. I'm privileged to introduce you Sowmya Athreya, the founder of Goal Admit, a college admissions consulting company dedicated to help students find and gain admission to their dream college. Sowmya has guided countless students throughout this complex and competitive college admissions process, helped them to stand out, stay focused, and ultimately succeed in getting into their dream colleges. So her approach is very thoughtful, strategic, and student-centered, which is exactly what today's session is all about. Today's session, we will have the presentation for the first 20 to 25 minutes, followed where we will open up for the Q&A. So please go ahead, note down all your questions throughout the presentation. And when we open up for the Q&A, we can get it answered. So without further delay, over to you, Sowmya. Thank you for joining us today, and stage is all yours.
Thanks, Radhika. I'm privileged to speak at this webinar. Thank you for inviting me. To those who don't know me, I'm Sowmya Athreya. I have over a decade of experience in college admissions, and I've been fortunate in the results for the students that I've been working with over the past few years. I'm basically a hardware semiconductor professional, but a couple of years ago, I decided to quit corporate America and go into this full-time officially. And at the core of what I believe in is reducing stress for families and helping students achieve their dreams. So today's agenda, I'll go over first, why hire a college consultant at all, how to choose a counselor, what is the timeline for the college admissions process, some tips for elementary and middle school kids. I'll go over some highlights of what makes a great college application. I'll give some tips for current and rising seniors because it's towards the end of the year and seniors will be busy applying to colleges. And then we'll have a session on like college cost, and Radhika will talk about some funding strategies, and we'll close it with some key takeaways and the Q&A. So why hire a college consultant? Some parents are not that familiar with the US college admissions process. We are immigrants and we don't know how it works here. The process is complicated and each college has different requirements. And even in your own high schools, you must be feeling that the competition is fierce with the number of overachieving applicants increasing every year. And there are so many options. So how do I pick what is a reach college? How do I know what's a safety college? How do I strategize what major to pick? Because applying strategically is very important because there are so many colleges and there are so many applicants. Acceptance rates are so low and the cost of college is significant as well. So applying strategically is very important. Uh, why hire a college consultant? Parents may not have time. Everybody is working with professional lives, and they may not have time to research colleges and help with the application. Kids may not be naturally organized and might need help meeting deadlines. Kids may need help with writing the essays because it's not just about what you write, it's also how you write it, what is important to highlight, crafting the best essay, word count is important as well. And I mean, I had this in my own household that one of my sons just refused to accept parental input because he thought we didn't know any better than him. Or so it's better to have an external input that the students may be more open to accepting. And the cost of counseling is a fraction of the total cost of college, and it's a sound investment if you find the right counselor. So, how do you find the right counselor? How do you choose a counselor? So, first decision to make is, do I want to go with a big name or a boutique? So big name will have more experience, they'll have established processes. You will get more individualized personal attention with a boutique firm. So some questions to ask a big firm would be, would there be a single assigned counselor? Are there going to be group sessions for the reviews? Do you provide any committee reviews? For a boutique firm, you have to ask them how many people on the team, how many students do you help? Do you have any references? And some common questions to ask, are the meetings in person? How often would we meet? What services are covered? Because some counselors will only help you with a certain number of colleges for a certain price. And then, of course, there are the SAT, ACT prep, and personal choices like, do parents are allowed to attend the meeting? And do you have any accreditations? And the last one, this, do you offer any guarantees? That's actually a trick question to ask the counselor, because if any counselor tells you that they are guaranteeing you admission to a particular college, that is a red flag, in my opinion, because college admissions is very random these days, and there's just no way for us to guarantee any student any admission. So I built this chart for the timeline for the college admissions process, and I'll start like really early, elementary school. Here I suggest you explore extracurriculars, ECs or extracurriculars, specifically music, art, sports, and learn to inculcate a love for reading just for fun. In middle school, you continue to explore ECs, plan your math and language pathways, inculcate good academic habits, read for fun. And then at the end of seventh and eighth grade, it's important to start thinking about the high school coursework and plan it out. Focus on the academic success while balancing rigor. In ninth grade, it's best to actually try to narrow down the field of study in the ninth or maximum 10th grade and join ECs with the goal to show progression or leadership. Start meaningful summer programs because it's very important to colleges how you spend your summers. Join high school clubs which are related to your major and try to find a unique interest to make you stand out. And I'll add this in each and every grade. Sorry? Was there a question? And I'll add this in every grade, watch the GPA because it's very important. For the 10th grade, prepare and take the SAT or ACT if you have the desired math level by then. Take the maximum allowed AP honors courses if you are able to handle it. Apply for competitive and meaningful summer programs, advance to leadership positions. Try to chase the awards and the club activities or the external competitions, because there's a section in the college application for awards and honors, and it would be good to build that story while you're in 10th and 11th grade. And 10th grade is the optimal time to actually interview and finalize a college counselor. 11th grade is when you actually, if you reach the math level only in 11th grade, you take the ACT, SAT. Again, you watch the AP honors level, and GPA is so critical, especially in the 11th grade. So keep track of your tests in high school, and if you need help, get external tutoring immediately. And this is when you create your preliminary college list, and again, make sure your summer is useful. And 11th grade is when you would approach teachers toward the end of 11th grade for the letters of recommendation. So for 12th grade, you would finalize the college list and preferably finish most of the essay writing in the summer as well, and track deadlines for the applications for scholarships as well as the regular deadlines. You can apply early, you can apply regular decisions. So there's a range of dates to keep track of. And you have to keep track of the recommendations from the teacher and the counselor, attend all the school information sessions because high school processes vary a lot, and temper your expectations. This is very important to de-stress. Aim high. It's very good to have the dream college, and also be realistic. So you don't think, oh, if I don't get into Harvard, my life is over, because that kind of attitude is what starts the stress. And maintain the rigor in 12th grade as well. And again, watch the GPA. So some early tips for the younger kids. These are, I guess, general tips, but they will help in the college admissions process as well. Install a love of reading. This is key. So this will help with doing well in classes in high school. It will help with the SAT. It will help with writing college application essays. And if you are not sure what your child's reading level is or how you can evaluate it and improve it, there are grade level library books in your nearest library that can help you. This is the time to allow your child to explore varied interests, because it could take some time for them to find out what they really like and enjoy. And ideally, the extracurriculars that you decide on, the 2, 3 extracurriculars that you decide on to stick with through high school, they will be an intersection of things that your child loves to do and is also good at doing, and enjoy spending time in those activities. So that's the intersection that you ideally want to look for. Start planning the high school coursework and math and language pathways when you're in 7th, 8th grade. And this is when you give them plenty of free time and don't try to overschedule them too much, because high school is going to be extremely busy. And encourage unusual interests. You may think that it's like very offbeat, but that could actually be the unique hook that makes them stand out for the college application. And what makes a great college application? It's a combination of colleges want to see passion. They want to see students who are interested in something and who have shown inside and outside their classroom that they are interested in it. Of course, there is GPA, because there is a way that colleges need to filter out candidates, and GPA and rigor measured in terms of how many AP courses, how many honors courses, in the context of your high school have you taken, right? So this is, of course, important. And a unique hook will help you stand out from other classmates. And as I had mentioned earlier, it's good to have like an awards or honors section in the application, that you have things to fill out for there. And colleges, especially the top colleges like Ivy League, they really highly value community service. They want to know that students have given back either to the local or the global community. So this is like top colleges will expect over 100 hours of community service in the course of the 4 years of high school. And leadership. Colleges want to see leaders in their campus. So if you have all these components, you weave it all together through genuine, well-written essays to tell the admissions officer your story. And if you are a current or rising senior, or if you are the parent of a current or rising senior, Goal Admit, which is the company that I run, can help you generate the optimal college list, can help you organize subtasks to meet all the deadlines, adapt your major selection to increase your chance of admission, because there are some majors which are adjacent to what you want to study, which could be easier to get into. And then I would also tell you the chance of switching from that to the major that you want when I suggest alternate strategies. And you can craft the perfect essays. We can help you craft the perfect essays and adjust the activity descriptions to emphasize the achievements and decide which test scores to submit, because multiple SAT tests, and do I super score? Do I pick one test? Do I take the test again? There are a lot of testing decisions to be made, which I could help with. And then managing your scholarship applications and deadlines, that's almost like a parallel track, because there are different forms to fill. There are different deadlines for each college to keep track of for their scholarships. And if somebody calls you for an alumni interview, I would help you prepare for the interview and give you tips on what they are looking for when they interview people. And then tailor your application to specific colleges, because colleges want to know that you've done the research and you're not just applying generically to them. So we will help you tailor your application to specific colleges as well. And now coming to the cost, I think it's increasingly expensive these days to get to college. In-state tuition at a public university can be like around 35,000. Out of state at a public is 50 to 80K. Private colleges can cost up to 100K, like Vanderbilt is now over 100K a year. And you can only expect tuition to increase in the future if you have younger kids. So starting a college fund early and targeting some amount by 12th grade, this would help you. And if you are eligible, then exploring scholarship options early will also help. And merit-based aid is only given to the top-tier candidates, so it's not something you can rely on consistently. And to help with clarifying the college cost landscape and help you get ideas on how to prepare and fund your college education, your children's college education, it's over to Radhika now. Radhika?
Yeah, thank you, Sowmya. Yeah, so just as you all guide your child through this academic journey, it is also essential to plan for their right finances to support them. You all agree, right? So when we think in general about planning or saving for that college expense, the most common vehicle that comes to our mind is the 529. So we as financial professionals, we firmly believe that not one plan fits everybody's needs, right? So every family is different, their needs are different. So their financial strategy also has to be like that. So which is why today we are going to see about another plan that can also help accumulate funds for the kids' college expenses. So now since 529 is the most common vehicle, so I'll be comparing some of the features or the key elements of both the plans just to point out the flexibility of this plan. So first key element is the purpose. So as we all know, 529 plan, it's the funds that you accumulate in that vehicle is primarily to be used for the education, qualified education purposes. Whereas if you use the 7702 plan, you have the flexibility of use the savings for any other purpose too, apart from the educations. Now coming to the next factor, which is the market fluctuations. We all know that 529, the way you're growing your money in a 529 is based on the market performance. So you have that small market risk that you are exposed to. But in 7702 plan, we have this downside market protection, which not only gives you a protection from the market crashes, but also gives you a fair growth compared to the market. And the next point we have here is the taxation on withdrawals. So 529 funds, as long as you are using it for qualified education expenses, you don't end up paying taxes. But in case you overfund your 529 or you want to use it for some other purpose, then you end up paying taxes. Whereas here in 7702, any distribution that you're taking out is tax free. And that is because of this IRS 7702 code, which gives this special credit. And finally, we have the asset for financial aid. So now, like Sowmya just mentioned, you have the ability to go in for financial aid, but 529, sometimes you have to list it as your asset. The child's, it's like an asset on the child that the child has. So it might have an impact on your financial aid. Whereas 7702 plan, there's no requirement to list it as an asset. Hence, there is no impact on that. Now, let's compare from the market risk and tax risk perspective. So what are some common other ways that people try to accumulate funds for education? So first is the 529 that we all saw. So the next is through stocks, and then through some fixed vehicles, right? So what are the market risks associated to this 529 plan? The fund goes, it has market risk. Stocks, because it depends on the market, again, market risks. Fixed vehicles, of course, they don't depend on the market, but again, you have very limited growth there. But when we look at the tax risk perspective, 529, as long as you're using it for qualified education purpose, like I said, there's no tax. Stocks, any realized gain, you end up paying stocks, taxes, and finally fixed vehicles, you end up paying taxes on the growth. Now, where does 7702 plan fit in this table is that it has no market risk and it also does not have any tax risk. The distributions are tax free. So that's where the 7702 plan fits in this table. Now, let's see how the market risk, it does not have market risk. Let's understand that piece, right? So if we move on to the next slide, so we have typically when we invest in the market, right? So we invest in the market today. As the market grows, we see that our investment also grows. But one fine day when there is a crash in the market, the growth that we see till that point, or in sometimes even the principal, we might lose it. But whereas if we invest in the index strategy, so what happens? As the market performs well, your growth also is there. And one fine day when there is a market crash or when there's a negative performance, your growth and the principal that you have accumulated till that point is protected. So what do we mean by that? When the market recovery happens, in the first use case, your recovery happens from the losses. Whereas in the index strategy concept, the recovery happens from where your principal and the growth was protected, right? Yeah, we can move to the next slide. So that is how we talk about the market protection. Now let's see with an example. So this is just an illustration which shows a specific use case. So here we have assumed that the parent has a kid who is age 14 right now today. So now the parent chooses 7702 as their vehicle to fund their kids' college expenses. So right from today for the next 10 years until the kid completes the college, the parent chooses to fund this vehicle 18,000 per annum for the next 10 years, which is 180K per annum until the parent's age 49. Now, during the kid's education expenses, when the kid is going for the college, now the parent is able to take out a distribution of 47,000 per annum tax free for each year of the college, so that they can take care of the fees related to the college. Now, again, as I said, the flexibility part here is that not only if the child gets some scholarship or you don't need all those money, you can still let it grow in this vehicle, and or you can, if there's some other emergency need or some other need that comes in the way, you can use those funds for those needs as well. Now, this is where this plan does not end. Now, for this same parent, although he's taken care of the kids' education goal, now this same vehicle can help him during his retirement too. So how during the retirement of this parent, during the 20 years of his retirement, he is able to take a distribution of 40,000 per annum tax-free again to supplement his retirement income, which is almost 800, more than 800K for the next 20 years, the distribution that he's taking out from this vehicle. And he also ends up passing a big legacy to his upcoming generation. So, and the other key factor that I would like to highlight is this parent, since he chose this plan, he is protected from the day one. His financial goal to educate his children is protected from the day one. So even if something were to happen to the parent in the first few years, even before the kid goes to the college, then that education goal is still taken care. And this protection is also there lifetime, for the lifetime of the parent. So now here we, due to the time constraint, we just saw a very high level example. I know some of you may not be able to resonate with this, so I highly encourage you to set up a one-on-one with me so that we can help you and show you how this plan can be customized based on your goals and your needs. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sowmya.
So for the college admissions part, the key takeaways from the webinar would be that reasonably priced college counselors are an asset and an investment in your child's future. Start early for the extracurriculars because depth matters a lot more than breadth. Aim to show progression and accomplishment through leadership and awards and honors. And stay calm through the whole process. And this is actually true for the student as well as the parent. Try to find ways to de-stress. And it's important for students to remember that where they go to college does not define who they are. So aim for the top and still have realistic expectations. Please check www.goaladmit.com. I have useful blogs and contact and open, transparent pricing information on my website as well. We promise personalized, well-researched advice on all aspects of college admissions. So hope you found this webinar helpful, and do let us know if there was any other topic you would have liked to see covered so we can handle it in the next webinar. Now we can open it up for Q&A.
Thank you, Sowmya. That was a fantastic presentation. Now, I believe many of you would have questions. So please raise your electronic hand. If you click the React button below, it will have an electronic hand so that we can have the questions in an organized way. So please go ahead and let me just stop the recording.